The Shui Mang Plant Part 2. Meanwhile San Niang asked Chu's mother to let the Kou family know, and this she did. Notwithstanding some objections raised by her son, Mr. and Mrs. Kou were much astonished at the news, and, ordering their carriage, proceeded at once to Chu's house. There they found their daughter, and parents and child fell into each other's arms. San Niang entreated them to dry their tears, but her mother, noticing the poverty of Chu's household, was unable to restrain her feelings. "We are already spirits," cried San Niang, "what matters poverty to us? Besides, I am very well treated here, and am altogether as happy as I can be." They then asked her who the old woman was, to which she replied, her name was Ni. She was mortified at being too ugly to entrap people herself, and got me to assist her. She has now been born again at a soy shop in the city. Then, looking at her husband, she added, "Come. Since you are the son-in-law, pay the proper respect to my father and mother, or what shall I think of you?" Chu made his obeisance, and San Niang went into the kitchen to get food ready for them, at which her mother became very melancholy, and went away home, whence she sent a couple of maidservants, 100 ounces of silver, and rolls of cloth and silk, besides making occasional presents of food and wine, so that Chu's mother lived in comparative comfort. San Niang also went from time to time to see her parents, but would never stay very long, pleading that she was wanted at home, and such excuses. And if the old people attempted to keep her, she simply went off by herself. Her father built a nice house for Chu with all kinds of luxuries in it, but Chu never once entered his father-in-law's door. Subsequently a man of the village who had eaten Shui Mang, and had died in consequence, came back to life, to the great astonishment of everybody. However, Chu explained it, saying, "I brought him back to life. He was the victim of a man named Li Chu, but I drove off Li's spirit when it came to make the other take his place." Chu's mother then asked her son why he did not get a substitute for himself, to which he replied, "I do not like to do this. I am anxious to put an end to, rather than take advantage of, such a system. Besides, I am very happy waiting on you, and have no wish to be born again." From that time all persons who had poisoned themselves with Shui Mang were in the habit of feasting Chu and obtaining his assistance in their trouble. But in 10 years' time his mother died, and he and his wife gave themselves up to sorrow, and would see no one, bidding their little boy put on mourning, beat his breast, and perform the proper ceremonies. 2 years after Chu had buried his mother, his son married the granddaughter of a high official named Zhen. This gentleman had had a daughter by a concubine, who had died when only a few months old, and now, hearing the strange story of Chu's wife, came to call on her and arrange the marriage. He then gave his granddaughter to Chu's son, and a free intercourse was maintained between the two families. However, one day Chu said to his son, "Because I have been of service to my generation, God has appointed me keeper of the dragons, and I am now about to proceed to my post." Thereupon 4 horses appeared in the courtyard, drawing a carriage with yellow hangings, the flanks of the horses being covered with scale-like trappings. Husband and wife came forth in full dress, and took their seats, and, while son and daughter-in-law were weeping their adieus, disappeared from view. That very day the Kou family saw their daughter arrive, and, bidding them farewell, she told them the same story. The old people would have kept her, but she said, "My husband is already on his way," and, leaving the house, parted from them forever. Chu's son was named Ngo, and his literary name was Li Chn. He begged San Niang's bones from the Kou family, and buried them by the side of his father's.